What's up? Welcome back to Blazy B, where I'm Blazed and I'm B. And today we're going to talk about some international travel tips because I love to travel. It's so much fun to be out of your comfort zone. For me, at least, I absolutely love that feeling of being kind of the minority in a different country. And yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's a very interesting thing. Um, yeah. I just got back from Costa Rica not too long ago, and then I was in Guatemala last year. And I mean, it's just a fun thing to do. Not all, like you can travel a lot in the US. Go throughout your state, go throughout these states. But international travel is something fierce. The long plane ride, the just like, whew, you're going into something you might not have ever seen before, or just like you don't know that reality. So it's a cool way to see the world and the people in it and realize you're not that different at all. You're just another human. So, and like culture, like absorb all of that is just the coolest thing to me. The food, the way they do things. Like when we were in Costa Rica, um, oh gosh, their hospitality just goes above and beyond. Like they'll drop anything for you because you're the guest. You are here and it's like their responsibility and they love it. And it's just like not I don't know, not how we are here. It just feels so different. It feels relaxed. You know, you don't do many things in a day. You work and you come home and you spend time with your family. Or someone comes over and they're going to sit and chat for about a few hours. and and that's like your day. Wow, that was lovely. And oh, it's incredible the way other people do life. It's just cool. And then you come back and you feel very reflected on your life. Or even the amount of clothes you own is like disgusting to you now. Speaking from experience, it is just, oh man, you don't realize you just have so much shit that you don't fucking need. But, that's that's the way of life, and we just absorb things. Yeah, the sun is coming in, but that's okay. It's lovely. Hello, sun. Gorgeous day today, yes? Great day to travel. I would love to get some travel. But okay, so first things first, you need a passport. Passports will get you so many places. And if you don't have one, just you need one. It's $150. Yes, it's something. You send in your birth certificate. That feels like whoa. And then within a few months, you've got a passport to you. And that just gives you access to things. Like now you can hop up to Canada if you wanted to, hop down to Mexico for a quick weekend. These trips are not that long, depending on where you are in the US. Like flying to New York from Illinois takes some time. Flying to Mexico takes some time, but it's like a 4-hour direct flight to Cancun. I'd do a weekend trip for a 4-hour flight. Why not? Why not? Who cares? Go somewhere exotic if you want to, or go somewhere not so exotic. Go wherever you freaking like to go, but you just gotta go. Just drop the fear and GTFO. That's got to be your new motto. Drop the fear and GTFO. But for real, you got to get out. You got to see the world. We don't know what we don't know, and it's so good to absorb different peoples, different cultures, different everything. Um, Going down to Costa and having to now put my toilet paper in the trash can again. No toilet paper in the toilet. That's something. These just little different things and how they live. Okay. But it's an adjustment. It feels weird. And then you get used to it. And then I lived in Costa Rica for 2 years, 2018, 2020. And man, I got back to the US and I'd try and throw my toilet paper in a trash can. And then I was like, oh, there is no trash can. Um, Put it in the toilet. That reverse culture shock is weird as well. Especially coming back in COVID, man, it was a weird time to have reverse culture shock. It's like, this isn't even our culture either. We're like shut down wearing masks. What is happening? Whew. That was an experience. But okay, you have this passport now. It's going to take a few months, so you better get on that. And now you have it. It's good for 10 years. And then it's an easier process to get another one. You just send your other one in, and then you get a new one and you get your old one back for your memories. And you get all your stamps. You get to keep your stamps. Also, I don't think they're really doing that many stamps anymore. So if you're going through the line at customs and they didn't stamp yours, ask for a stamp. It is okay to ask for that memory. It is a good thing to have. I love having stamps. Then you get to look back and see the dates and yeah, where you've been. It's a nice thing. Some people can even get like more pages sewn in. My cousin, she lived in Germany for a while and she'd like take weekend trips. You know, Europe's small. So she'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I was in Italy for the weekend, went to Greece for the weekend." So then her book is getting freaking full of stamps, and so she had to send hers in and get new ones, like new pages sewn into the back of it. She got a thick book. But that's a cool book of memories right then and there. Easy peasy memories. And it's, yeah, it's cool. Passports are really cool. And especially like you're getting older and 10 years is a good chunk of time to see kind of what you've done. And yeah, anyways, that's cool. I love passports. They're just a cool thing. I also love to look at other country passports. They're interesting. They're like same, but different. But cool designs, different colors, the works, just like an ID would be. So that's pretty cool. Um, so now you've got a passport in hand. Let's freaking buy a ticket. Let's go somewhere. Where do you want to go? It doesn't matter how you pick it. It really doesn't. When we went to Guatemala, Dallas and I, it was literally because it was the cheapest international flight from St. Louis. That was it. And kind of felt bad when people would ask us, like, why'd you guys choose Guatemala? It's like, well, it was just an easy flight. But then we like, okay, we could do something with this. Like, from there, you're going to just dive into it, no matter where it would be. Pick a country. Maybe you've seen it on TikTok, Instagram, whatever that you're like, oh, I would so go there. And you got to remember, though, it depends on your adventure level. What are you wanting to get into? Because some of these sites you see on TikTok and everything, these are like deep hikes into the fjord or to the mountainside. And it's like, of course, it's freaking gorgeous, but they've probably worked their ass off to get to this place. Or it's like Banff looks amazing. My friends did like a 5-night backpacking trip and it was crazy. It was gorgeous, but it was crazy. I'm not going deep into the thicket on some 25-mile a day hikes. That just like that's a little over my adventure status. We did Acatenango in Guatemala. That shit kicked my ass. Good experience, but it kicked my ass. But like, okay, you have to find a good travel companion too. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Pick a damn country. Pick a place you want to go and start researching. Start researching the price. Like Bali. I really want to go to Bali. Everything is cheap once you get there. You can have like a 5-course meal for $5. Amazing. You're like stay in big houses for like 20 bucks a night. Okay, amazing. But that plane ticket is $2,000. So make up that cost. You got to kind of figure it out. I have heard, I'm not a tech savvy human being, but I've heard if you have a VPN and you book a travel ticket like from the country you would be like going to, um, like say I had a VPN for Australia and then I bought a ticket from the US to Australia, return whatever. I've heard it's cheaper because it's kind of like a local thing, but I don't know if that's true. And I don't know. It feels like weird to find out. Like I need a VPN. I don't know. I don't know. But hey, if you got a VPN, worth a shot. I have no idea. Finding flights is a whole game in itself. You got to start booking or like tracking. Google Flights has tracking. I use Momondo. It's a weird site, but I like it. It's like MOMONDO.com. But it's like Kayak, but it's got all these bars. It's a cool web setup. I fuck with it. So and then you can see prices from there. You can start tracking these tickets. You can even see, okay, this is on this airline. Maybe you go to that airline site and they're running a sale. Hey, check out directly from the site. Things like that. You need to be open to even flexible dates. Um, I would say like booking your ticket 2 to 5 months in advance is kind of like chill, chill, mega chill. Um, yeah, watching those prices fluctuate, kind of figuring out the days you need to leave. Like flying out on a Tuesday is usually cheaper. Um, yeah, and like Sundays are kind of hit or miss, but like buying on a Tuesday is always good as well. Something about like Mondays they release deals and sales, and then Tuesday is kind of like I don't know, prime stuff. I don't know. But these are all things I've heard. I just go with the flow. You got to track your things, figure out your price point. What are you willing to pay? And then, like, maybe there's other airports in the area that might be cheaper depending on where you're going in the country. Like, for instance, Costa Rica, you could fly into Liberia up north, and that's going to get you at all those white sand beaches and like surf towns, and then more like, some like hippy dippy shit. Great if that's what you're looking for. Or you fly into the capital city, you get access to more like the downward jungles or the Caribbean side. You could go into Liberia, have that cheaper flight, but if you want to get down to those parts, it's going to be a hefty drive or bus ride, and it's just going to like eat up a day of travel. Plus, it might be more expensive. So, look at those areas of where you want to go in the country. If it's even like viable to go to these areas, like we were going to Guatemala and it was like, okay, we could hop over to Belize. That would be fun. There's a bus that goes there. Ooh, it would be like that long. Okay, cool. But we could do the snorkeling thing, but then we'd only have a day left in Guatemala. Like, and it just especially once you get to a place, you feel like, "Ugh, that was not enough time." Like, you're either there and you're kinda like, "Okay, I'm kinda over this town, there's nothing really here for me," or you're like, "Man, I wish I had a few more nights just to, like, chill in town. Go walk the streets. Just be among the people." I feel like we don't give ourselves enough time to just be. We're always very booked up on certain things to do. We've got tours, we've got this, we've got this, we want to see it all. We got to blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, but take your time to see it all. If you can book a longer trip, book it for the same amount of stuff you want to do in that short amount of time because you're going to want that time. It takes effort to do these activities and then you're kind of exhausted from that just from the get-go, so you need that time, that space to relax, hit the park, um, and just, like, be one with the culture. That feels good, that is good. So do that. Book yourself some time. Book some yeah. Traveling is exhausting, and just being in a bus is exhausting. All doing all the things is exhausting, but you're so hyped that you're gonna continue to do it. But you need to book that time to just relax. So, okay, you know where you're gonna go. You've seen this country. You're like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, I'm down. Let's get into it. Get that ticket bought or, get those Google Flights trackers going. That's just, yeah, you are now focused on a destination. You can now start prepping your stuff. Also, I will say, like, if you're booking an international flight with a few layovers or a layover, make sure they're long, like 3 hours long, just because you might have to go through customs. You might be like, ding, 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 things might be delayed. There could be a lot of things that happen. And you want to have that space that you're able to move and groove with that schedule change in the occasion that it happens. Um, Yeah, it is a good thing to give yourself time at the airports, and it's not hurting anybody. Pack a lunch, pack some snacks so you don't have to buy all the airport food, have your water bottle, and just, chill. Chill, chill, chill. Also, another tip, big thing. When you get your passport, make a copy of it, take a picture of it. As much as we are in a phone age right now, your phone can die. Your phone can do weird things. Your phone can get stolen. You're, you can't be as dependent on your phone. And for me, I am not an international plan girly. I am a if I'm out of the country, don't talk to me. I'm doing my thing. Like, I'll check my phone when I've got Wi-Fi back at the hostel. That's about it. My phone is to take pictures and to have pictures of the things I need, and just to be there if I need it in a situation, okay? But other than that, don't depend on your phone. Have things printed out. Have a copy of your passport printed in your luggage bag. Like, just keep these things. Say you booked a lot of things or you booked Airbnbs or hostels and you have got confirmation codes or you've got like pictures of something that you might have to present when you're somewhere. Put it all on one document and print that bad boy out before you go. Even give your traveling companion, if you have one, a copy of this, because why not be over prepared? It is a good thing to have all your information in one place. Like, just in case you would have your insurance like in your car. You would have like right in the States traveling. You would bring all these documents with you. You know what I mean? It is not that different being abroad. I feel like that fear is so much more. And you're like, oh my gosh, I could get robbed. I could get mugged. Like, St. Louis is a crazy place, man. It's not that deep in other places. It is okay. But you don't wanna be the flashy person. You don't wanna be always on your phone. Like, a lot of places don't do iPhones. They are more expensive. They are, like, a thing that it's just, like, mainly the States does. So, iPhones are gonna be looked at. So, if you're always carrying around your phone, just, like, constantly looking things up, you might become a target. Who knows? Depends on where you're at. But things like that, keep that in mind. Also, when you're walking around, don't have your headphones in. Just be alert. You should do this in the States too. Be just aware of your surroundings that you are prepared for anything, right? Just the basic life survival guide. You know what I'm saying? It is not that deep in other countries. But you should know that because you've researched the place that you're going and you're aware a little bit of the culture. Okay. So let's talk about that. You should research where you're going. You've picked this country, and now is the fun part of like planning everything. This is my favorite part. It's yeah, you get to see what you're gonna do, and you're gonna kind of plan it out, not to a T, but like in things that you could do day to day. So I've had like long itineraries just with ample amount of information about okay, like, where did I go? I went on this crazy trip with my friend Jordan back in the day to Tomorrowland, which is the biggest festival in the world, and it's in Boom, Belgium, and big deal. So we were like, let's hit all these places in a 2-week trip. So we were in Amsterdam, we were in kind of all over Belgium, but where else? Then we went to Vienna. Then we were I don't even know all where we went. We were just taking the train everywhere. You can take the train when you're in Europe. It is so nice and easy and freaking fast. We were going like 140 miles an hour on this train from Rotterdam to Amsterdam. It was like crazy. Oh, and we went to Barcelona. That's yeah. So we were popping all over these countries. And I honestly don't know where I was going with that. Oh, yes, my itinerary was ginormous. It was ginormous, and it was just of options. Options of, "Okay, well, we're gonna stay here." Oh, we also went to Nice. Nice was, like, my favorite part of that trip. I had never been to the French Riviera, and I want to go back so bad. Nice blew my mind. Yes, on the list again and again and again. We took a Maserati to the friggin' airport, like, it was so chill, it's so flashy, so, ooh, posh. And the beaches were, like, white rock beaches, and topless, of course, Europe, so, I was just loving life. I was loving life. I did a lot of things in Nice, it was good times. Um, but, like, again, I lost my place. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Where were we? The itinerary was ginormous and options. But then you get to these hostels and then you're like, hey, what's the best thing to do around here? And then they give you all these other options. And some of them might align with what you've researched. Like, okay. And then you get to ask them too, hey, we saw this. Like, is this worth it? Is this cool? And it might be like, it's kind of overrated, but if you're into this sort of thing, yada, 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 you gotta ask the locals. So you gotta leave that space in your itinerary for different things. It like don't book a tour right in it like so much in advance. Maybe if it's like, okay, we need to book this in advance because like it sells out or yada, yada, yada. There are different reasons for different things. But if you're going to go to a place and you're kind of just going to vibe it out, you got to vibe it out. Like one night, Jordan and I went out. We had a crazy night. I was ready to rock and roll in the morning. There was a 3-hour walking tour through the hostel, and Jordan was not getting up for it. He was done for. Totally fine. I'm going to go alone. Great. I had a great time. A great walk. I learned so much. The tour guide was Russian. She was chill. And like just something I wanted to do. He was not feeling it. Great. Met me at the beach later. Great. And it's just like you kind of got to let yourself go with the flow. If you're going to go out with the hostel, don't plan anything for the morning. And maybe you like decide, oh my God, I'm going to go out with the hostel. Go meet new people, change your plans. You might be like, oh my gosh, there's a group of people and they're going to leave on a bus tomorrow for this place and I want to go. Go. You don't have your hostel booked for 2 nights from now. Why not? If you're willing to take these adventures, you got to go in with the mindset of what you're actually open to do. And if you want a nice, rigorous, awesome itinerary, go for it. But you got to just plan a little bit for life's whatevers. Say your train was late or, your hostel's kind of hard to get to, crazier than you thought. So you got to also read these reviews, figure out this map, learn how to read a fucking map. If you don't know how to read a map, this is your sign right meow to learn how to read a map. Yeah, just hands down. And I'm not talking like on your phone, Google Maps looking at, I'm talking north, south, east, west on a paper map that you probably got at the hostel, at least with all the points in the area that are going to be where you want to go. In Paris, they'll give you this map. And these streets, it's got a cool like layout, but you're kind of just looking at this map, figuring out where you're going. And people honestly, like now you're kind of this tourist with a map, but if you have a question on where you're going, ask somebody. People are very willing. This is not New York. But that's funny because I did get asked to New York. I guess a nice face. And I ended up showing where this girl where to go. Yeah. Yeah, escorted her to her friend where I was going as well. Hilarious. But ask somebody. When I was in Japan, my brother said like, "Hey, if you get lost, no big deal, but like just look lost and someone will come up to you." And that happened. I took a train, one stop more, shame on me. And then I got off and I was looking around and someone was like, "Do you need help?" And I was like, "Ah, yeah." And they're like, "Oh, just one stop back." So I took the next train on the other side, back one. Okay. Like, people are not out to get you. I'll say that again. People are not out to get you. You are a foreigner, and most people are willing to help you, especially if you're not being a dick, you know? Ask a certain question and maybe do it in that home language. Like you're trying to fit in that area. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. Try it out. So, okay, we know where we're going. We've got a place. We have a passport. The flight is long. Prepare yourself for that. It's not that bad, but try and sleep, especially if you're going to get there and just go, 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 go. Um, bring a book. Your headphones can die. Your phone can die. Your book will always be there. And you never know when you want a book in the city. You might be walking around, you stop at a park, you whip out your book. What a cool feeling to feel like a local in a place you've been to never. It is cool. Do it. Try it. Um and look at your transportation. So not only are you reading a map, you know how to read a map, but you're looking at these locations that you're planning to go and you're figuring out how to get there. If you're able to get there, do you need to rent a car? Do you need to use a taxi? How would you get a taxi in that language? Do you have a bus? Is there a shuttle? Can you ask the hostel if they'll pick you up from a specific location? You got to read and research for the depths of what you want. If you want to show up in a city, go to the resort and stay there all week, good on ya. You're going to be in one spot and not have to worry about that. But if you're going to be popping around and you want to take local transport, you got to be aware of what there is. And sometimes, like, yes, there's a bus. Yeah, it runs every 5 hours. So you gotta plan on that time schedule. You gotta be flexible. It might be early, it might be late. It might never come. So you gotta figure these things out, and you gotta be nice with the locals, because man, they can make or break your stay. If you're nice and something goes down, they'll probably make an exception for you, you know? And if you're not, they might leave you somewhere and that's not where you need to be. So, be kind, be a gentle human being. It's good for you and also good for other people. And get to know people in the hostels. I love staying in hostels. They're usually your cheapest option, and you can choose. Like, I'm not really getting up there in age. I will probably never not stay at hostels. Granted, Airbnbs are more of a thing now, internationally, so it's easier, whatever. But staying by myself, I would absolutely do a hostel. Not only just because it's cheaper, but you meet people and it's like a chill environment. So you can stay in like dorms of 12 people. You could stay in an all female dorm. There are so many hostel types. You could stay in a private room. You have options of a private bathroom and certain things and amenities, and it just depends on what you're willing to pay and what is available to you. So, but the hostels are where it is happening at all times. You've got drinking, games, and activities every night. They're going to take you on pub crawls, and they're just going to like get everybody they can together to party. That's like every night, and usually themed nights, different nights, whatever. And then they might have like oh, we're going to go on this excursion. If you pay $100, you could go on this excursion. There's a lot of things through the hostels that are great. And even if you're not staying at the hostel, highly recommend going to check out these hostels. Some of them have like great restaurants in them, great coffee shops. And just, yeah, different amenities, maps, and guided tours, and certain things that you can have access to. So highly recommend. Like in Guatemala, we did the ruins, the Mayan ruins up north, and certain things like that through the hostel. So then they picked us up at the hostel. We brought our own lunch, or we bought it from the hostel. They hooked us up, and then we took this bus along with everybody else. And it was just like, okay. And then you get to know people on that excursion. Oh, you're staying at the same hostel. Awesome. What are you guys doing tonight? And that's how you get to know people, and that's how you fulfill your trip needs. And you figure out where they've been. Oh, we're going there tomorrow. How was it? Where did you eat? Did you have to take a taxi? Do you have the number for that guy with the taxi? Trusted sources, things like that. You can get more into if you just talk to other humans. And the hostels are just the tried and true ways of doing this. It is easy and nice. Usually the beds are chill. Um, I'd bring a lock. It's always nice to have a lock, especially if you've got like a locker at a hostel. You can lock that bad boy up if you feel so inclined, and things like that. So, yeah, your little things. Also, when you're traveling, especially like hostel life and you're on the go, most countries don't have like the best paved roads. Highly recommend a big hiking backpack, and just that's your bad boy that you're going to take everywhere. It might be a little heavy, but get it around your waist, take that, like, weight off your spine, and, oh, you're gonna be happy to not have a roller bag on cobblestone, just pissing you off the whole time, when you can just have it on your back, easy to tote around, and yeah, accessible at all times. It just feels a lot more, yeah, it just is better. Highly recommend. Fits easy under your bed at the hostel, and you also just fit in with all the cool backpackers. So yeah, high perks, high perks. Oh, hostels, seriously great. I use hostelworld.com, read the reviews, see the location. Sometimes they've got, yeah, shuttles or certain things to and from town. Like, just be aware of what their access is. Some hostels, like, okay, they're this remote, you can only purchase their food there. Okay, that's not bad. But you gotta like be able to plan for that. Know what you're getting into. The hostel in Guatemala, like, it really was that remote. You had to stay 2 nights minimum. Made sense. It was like an 11-hour bus ride just to get there. So, of course, you're gonna stay 2 nights, but, like, that was hostel policy. Okay, now you get to plan out your 2 days, and then how do you get out of here? At what time? Oh, this is booked through the hostel, this is booked through the transportation, and all of this is just combined into, like, your experience. So and you gotta go with the flow. Okay, so this Guatemala trip was oversold, and also, like, we were late. I thought they were passing through at 8:30. They passed at 8, and then they got everybody else, and then they were at this, like, site, so then we had to take a tuk-tuk. So, like, the hostel's on the phone, and it's like, "Holy shit, these girls are late. They're gonna miss their bus, this one freaking bus a day because it takes forever." And like blah, blah, blah. So we take this little tuk tuk with our shit. We're like packing up so fast, getting out of there. Um, and we get to this bus and they're just like shuffling people on, and it is packed. I mean, it's like, I don't know if we're gonna make it on this bus. And I'm like, but we bought tickets earlier. Like, we had tickets. Not like we're going to buy a ticket. We have these tickets. So this bus is booked to the brim, and the whole top is everyone's backpacks, and then it's just, like, massive Aussie hungover crowd in there, and we are filling up the seats, like, they're putting down that middle seat in the aisle, and we're like, that's where Dallas and I end up sitting. There's, like, no headrest, you're just, like, dying in this heat between these humans, and nobody yeah, you can't get up, you can't move. It was miserable. So then it's like, hey, we overbooked this thing. When we stop in the next city, we're going to split these groups up into 3, and they're all going to go to the same place, but we're going to all, blah, blah, blah. So they're like shuffling us around, and you just got to go with the flow. Let go of the shit you cannot control. It is not worth your time. It is not worth your emotion. It is not worth your overreaction. It will all work out. Just be kind and, like, yeah, just be kind, don't overreact. I feel like the people that just freak the fuck out that they're not gonna make their flight, no, 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 no. It's like, "Ugh, that guy." So don't be that guy. Just be the person that's like, "Hey, mm, how do I get there then? Is there any way? Can you help me?" People are very helpful in other countries. It's kinda crazy. I'd say they're way more helpful than people in the US. I get stopped on the streets in other countries for people to ask for directions. Excuse me? Me? Of all people, you chose me? And then I have to explain, like, I don't know where I am. But no one would stop in the States. Are you kidding? You would stop on the side of the road to ask someone for directions? Absolutely not. But other places, they do. They're more communicative. They're more a collective society where people actually empower other people and help. So be one of those people, and you'll be okay. It will all work out. That's why you gave yourself some cushion time within all of this, is just to deal with these situations that may or may not happen. But it's always good to plan for, I mean, like, I got fucking E. coli in Guatemala, and okay, I just had to plan my meals and hope I had a bathroom around in 20 minutes right after, you know? I just thought it was traveler's diarrhea at the time, to be honest. Like, I ate something. Okay, fine. But oof, nothing like using some shitty gloves to get you some E. coli. All right. So, yeah, research that country, everything you're gonna do. And not only that, is how the culture. And, like, do you tip? Most places don't do tipping at restaurants. So, like, it's like included, or they get paid a nice wage. So things like that, look into. It's always worth it. They always try and get the Americans just a little extra money because we're used to it. So you don't have to. It's not a tipping culture in a lot of places. So don't feel like you're pushed to because you're just the American. Um, yeah, dress appropriately. If I was gonna go to Saudi Arabia or one of those places, I would cover up. Um, be respectful of that culture. Don't be like the crazy American. That's the thing about traveling too, is it is both reputations coming to the front. So if you portray yourself as this shitty American, they're going to think all Americans are shitty. So don't do that. And yeah, learn their culture. Be like them. Don't push the limits. It's not your place. It's not your home. No. Be research it, know it, be safe. I mean, that could literally put you out of safety is just looking the wrong part. So, look right, dress right. These hot countries, it's okay to wear your booty shorts and your short whatever, like totally fine. And dudes, you can have shirts off because that's the culture. In some places, you can't do that. So just be aware where you're going, what you're going to be wearing. Also, if you're going to Iceland, you might need a fucking coat. Like, dress appropriately for what you're going to do. If you're going to be hiking, if you're going to be going out at night in like rural areas, bring a headlamp. Bring the little things that you're going to need to make your trip successful. But don't overpack. That is a struggle I have. I've gotten better at it. I realize I only wear the same three outfits over and over and over again. And laundry does exist all over the world. So you can happily, yeah, pay someone to wash your laundry. And man, they might wash it the best you've ever washed it. I've had my laundry washed like damn, it's stiff after. And it's like, yeah, it holds the color, like just all the things. So yeah. But then in Guatemala, Dallas bought a new shirt. She washed it with everything else, and we had red dyed things. That's okay. It's like $3. It's fine for like a massive amount of laundry after our hike. It was crazy. But like, okay, you drop off your laundry. That's another thing. You got to like spend this time in these places to, yeah, we're going to go to the beach. We'll pick up our laundry in the afternoon, totally chill. Or it might be an overnight thing. Plan these things out or plan to not plan, plan to be chill. It will save you a headache, I promise you. And then when you're traveling around, like you can use your credit card in most places. Credit cards are taken most everywhere. And it's just kind of easier currency wise. But to get cash, I just usually show up, find an ATM, not at the airport. Don't fucking take money at the airport. But when you get to like your hostel, hotel, whatever, ask for that nearest ATM and just take out like one time cash. And for real, you just don't use a lot of cash. There's not a lot of cash flowing. People are using credit cards. So, but you need like maybe you have a toll that you're gonna pay if you're driving. Who knows? Maybe you want to like heckle some gal on the side of the road for ice cream. Okay, might need a little cash for that. Like a little petty cash to like here and there is nice. But your credit card will really take care of everything. You've booked most things with your credit card anyways. And yeah, it's pretty chill. But just stay away from the airport exchanges. That exchange rate is going to be ridiculous. You could order it from the bank here in the US before, but I don't think it's necessary. I really don't think it's necessary. Then yeah, it just feels weird. And like why? Um, okay, what else do I have to say? Dun, 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 dun. Just go fucking travel. Don't really bring your valuables. Like what do you really what really do you need? Don't bring your nice earrings. Don't bring your nice watch. Don't bring like shit gets dirty and it just like I would take my laptop if I was traveling alone and I wanted to like watch a movie and I hate watching shit on my phone. Okay, that's fine, but my laptop's like a Surface Pro, pretty chill iPad-y situation. So fine, but like keep it out of sight. Why, you know, tote around things that are valuable. Um, but yeah, you just won't need it. Just bring your clothes, your swimsuit, your coat, whatever environment you're going to. Bring those layers. Don't overpack. Try not to overpack. I worked at a hostel once in downtown Seattle, and our rule, like you just watch these people try, they want help carrying their luggage up the stairs. Excuse me? If you can't carry your own luggage, you shouldn't have brought that luggage. That is not my problem. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, same goes for you. If you can't lug it around, don't bring it. Not worth it. And also give your like self some space for when you need to return with some stuff. And like if you're going over, maybe you're staying a long time, maybe you're not. Shampoo bars are great, non-liquid, easy, small, can be used as body soap as well. Um, and yeah, buy things in that country that you may need. Deodorant, bring that from here. It works better. um, but like other things, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, you can buy these things over there. And, you know, you don't have to lug around a lot of stuff. You can just bring your essentials. I'd bring a portable charger. They're nice to have. Check on what your sockets are going to look like. Maybe get one converter. Um, but yeah, try and just like get rid of those electronics. Absorb what is around you. You're in a different place. Sit outside. Just sit, be. People watch the heck out of that place. Go to a park. It's so cool just to absorb. It just feels different, you know? Every place you go just is a new adventure because it's different. It's new. So, why the fuck not? Um yeah, print everything out. Print those documents. We're in an age of phones, but print. Print your schedule and your tickets to whatever you need. Shoes. You need comfy shoes. No one's looking at your feet. You need to have two pairs of shoes, one pair of tennies that you're going to wear every damn day, and then a pair of sandals or like a going out shoe that will go with everything. And that is it. Those are your shoes. You could buy a pair of shoes there if you'd like, but it takes up so much room. And you're gonna wear your comfiest shoes at all time because you want comfy shoes. That's at the end of the day, you're gonna wear your favorite outfit and your comfiest shoes on repeat and just get those washed. And you'll be like, why did I pack all the rest of this shit? And then every time you go somewhere, you'll pack less and less and less until you finally get it right. I'm still not at that finally getting right stage, but I feel like I'm getting there. I feel like I'm traveling more because I do not pay for checked baggage. Like, no, thank you. So then that also like can't bring those liquids, can't bring the yeah, no, 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 no. But that's okay. That is okay. I don't need it. I have feet that work and I sweat and so I wear a lot of black and I just rewear a lot of things. And that is totally fine. I'm usually not even taking pictures of myself on vacation. So yeah. It's okay. It is okay to not look your best all the time on vacation. It is okay. Ooh, choosing your travel companion is something fierce. It is, well, you don't know until you know, right? You got to travel with people. I remember Bill Murray saying the ultimate test to like a relationship is going on a trip with someone. And then if you get back and you still want to get married, go for it. But you have to go through so much if you're traveling with someone. You're like, okay, first of all, we have to like decide where we're going, what we're doing. Might have to compromise what I want to do, what you want to do, things like that. But you get lost. You get in tense situations. You like yeah, one time Katie and I were in Italy and this guy my ticket printed like on the wrong side. I bought a ticket, it printed on the wrong side and or it didn't print. It was like weird. And I pulled it up and like I went through the gate and like whatever. And this guy looked like a cop. He like grabbed my ticket and I was like, I don't know, like I went through like she has hers and he was like, no, like, you owe me 50 euro. I was like, fuck off. I go, I'll go buy another ticket. And he was like, no, 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 no. You owe 50 euro and then you can go buy another ticket. I was like, excuse me? Anyways, this guy goes crazy on us in Italian. Katie speaking Spanish with an accent. I'm like just mean mugging American right now. But then I threw 50 euros at his face, went back to buy another ticket, came back, and this man's gone. Fucking what? Tense situation. Katie and I brushed it off. You like, okay, that happened to us. Let's next time we not have to make sure to get our ticket printed and make sure it stayed. Lesson learned. Okay, great. Moving on. Like, you can't freak out. You gotta like let it go. Let go of what you cannot control. Just be safe in what you can and vibe. And there's a lot of people that will tighten up or will freak out, and those are not the people I want to travel with. Also, there are just people who stick to the beaten path, which is fine. But find the person that you want to travel with, that you kind of align in those situations. Um yeah, because then if you go on a trip that you've paid for and you're like, "Well, we didn't do anything I wanted to do," and then you resent that person, and then that friendship is over. Not good. And I have friends that I will never travel with. I might have traveled with them before, and I don't need to do that again. And that's okay. We are on different pages, and that is fine. But I know that. So you gotta find who is fitting into what you wanna do. And honestly, I have found that the person I love to travel the most with is myself. Oh my god, shocker. Because guess what? I get to do everything I want to do whenever I want to do it. And if I want a time off to just take a nap, I can do that. I don't have to check in with anybody. I'm hungry, go get something to eat or make something, or like, again, I have that decision on my shoulders, and that feels really nice. I will say traveling alone is really fun. Um Sometimes I feel like a little like, ooh, that was like, it's a little tense because I am an adult female that likes to do some crazy stuff, and so I'm just like walking around being me. And that's fine, but, like, you gotta be a little more alert, you gotta be ready for kinda anything. That's when my water bottle comes in, like, I'll knock you. Come the fuck at me, man. Um, but it would be nice to share it with someone. Like, when I went abroad with Matthew, so much freaking fun. We're on the same page, we got the same schedule, we're raised by the same parents, we are we're 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 pretty much on the same page. We had a few discrepancies, but, like, you work through them because 'cause you're blood, you know? But we had an absolute freaking blast, and it was nice to, like, go to a restaurant, sit down, and not have to like pack up all my stuff to go to the bathroom and come back just in fear that someone's going to take my stuff, or to go to a hostel and just have another person to talk to in your group. It is nice to have that companionship and like do things, and experiencing things like together is fun. But going by yourself is equally as great. And there are people all around you that are happy to take your picture if you want that. Or there are people you meet. That's another fun thing about traveling alone, is that you get to go to these hostels and meet whoever you want to meet or don't. Like, it really truly is up to you. But you also realize there are so many solo travelers out there. So many. So many. And they all just link up or they like chat, and then that's the end of it. But they're like on their own schedule. And you just ask them where they've been, where they're going. Like, all these Australians will take a year off to just travel the world. You'll meet a ton of them, and they have some cool stories. And you wouldn't have talked to this person if you were with another human being. You know what I mean? So it's valuable. It's communication. You get to know another person from probably another country, and it's just a good thing. And it's just a test of like you being you. You go out to dinner with your book and sit there and enjoy your dinner. I took myself on a 5-course meal in Vienna. Jordan was off with Dre, and like she was studying abroad in Graz. And so like he went over there to visit her. I had like 2 nights by myself in Vienna. Amazing. Yeah, took myself out, strutted around. I had a great day doing everything I wanted to do, and it was awesome. It's worth it. It's an experience you'll never forget. Japan too. I did everything mainly alone, and then hit the boys up in the evening. So it's cool. It's cool, but you can't be like, "Hey, remember when we did that?" You got to like do that to yourself. So, travel with someone, but someone that you really can vibe with, and that knows boundaries as well. Dallas and I travel very well together. Sometimes it's radio silent for a hot minute. That's fine. That's great. We, You don't have to ask each other, like, "You good? You good? You good?" Like, fuck off. Just let me be. We've had a day. Like, we both were on the vibe. And that is it's very refreshing. Anything else I want to touch on? Yeah, drop your freaking fear and just do it. Drop your fear of the unknown, drop your fear of other people, other places, other cultures. Drop the fear of, I don't know, just you unable to do it, cuz guess what? You're fucking capable. I feel like everyone is capable of travel. You just have to be prepared. Do your research, plan out your activities, and live your best life. Go with that flow. Let go of what you cannot control and enjoy it, because it will also change you as a human being. You get to experience things, see things of a different nature. And no matter what you think, it'll be good for you. It'll just be good for you. Highly recommend. Hit that travel. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Let me know where you're going. I might even help research some stuff. I do love to do that as just a pastime. So, yeah, if anyone needs travel tips or recommendations, or just like, hey, can you help me a little bit? I'm down. Let me know. All right. Ciao, ciao for now.